In this video, I'm setting myself a challenge to turn $2,000 into at least $4,000 or $5,000, basically to double my deposit. I'll look at what strategies and tools can be used and accordingly how you can replicate this result after watching the video. So let's get right into the video. The very first thing, of course, is to determine the risks. If you want to trade and earn safely, you have the option to open trades, for example, at 5%. That's pretty safe, but it takes a long time. There's a second option, opening trades at say 50 or 60%, but that's quite risky and requires a solid strategy. By the way, you can get ready-made strategies right now in our Telegram channel. I'll leave the link in the description, so go there right now and grab the ready-made strategies. In short, the link will be waiting for you in the description. Now let's move on to my method, which I'll be using at 15%. For me, this is currently the best risk management. Let's get started. For the first currency pair, we choose the British pound and Canadian dollar. I like the movement here, so I choose this currency pair in the booster bot. Yes, it's with this bot that I'll be boosting my deposit today. We wait for its signal and I get a sell signal. I open a sell trade, and I also want to take this opportunity to remind you, if you want to trade completely on your own, without tips from the automated robot or our VIP channel, then you can get ready-made strategies right now in our official Telegram channel. We regularly share a variety of ready-to-use currency pairs and effective strategies that you can apply to your chart immediately. But for now, let's watch this trade. I opened it for 1 minute, $300, selling based on the robot signal. Let's observe. I'm getting a nice profit of $270. So as you can see, it's really easy to trade with the bot without any effort. I'll open the next trade for 15% as well, which is already $340. I can stay on this currency pair or switch to another one. The most important thing here is to choose the currency pair that you really understand, the one that looks good to you. If a currency pair looks chaotic, for example like this, then it's better to skip that pair. So choose reliable currency pairs where you can make money. By the way, I'm currently trading on 30-second candles. Again, I'm choosing the GBP CAD currency pair. I like this currency pair, I like the movement, and for now I want to trade specifically on it. Here there's a good payout of 92%, good movement and good volatility. And now I'm getting a signal to buy. Now let's take a moment to watch this trade. Literally at the last moment, the trade closes in the red, but I'm not going to get upset about it, because with the next trade, I'll simply cover my loss and I'll have to open it at 25% at $480 in order to safely cover my loss and still make a profit. I'm switching the currency pair to the Australian Canadian dollar. Let's choose this currency pair and then we'll talk about how to activate this robot and what tricks you can use with it, since right now I'm not using the best entry points and I'm trading like a complete beginner. But next, we'll talk about how to adapt it for yourself and what entry points you can use with it to increase its effectiveness. So let's watch this trade. As you can see, this trade is bringing me a decent profit, and as a result I'm earning $350 from it. So I'm covering my loss and making a bit more on top of that. Let's open the next trade again for 15% is $345. And after this trade, we'll move on to the best entry points. Now I'm choosing the euro-dollar currency pair. I'll switch over to BusserBot now, select this currency pair, and as you can see, the system provides a clear sell signal. I open my sell trade for $345 and let's watch this trade. An excellent trade brings me $317. Right now there are already $2,600 in my balance, which is approximately 30% of my total balance. The next trade I will open will be for 15%, which is almost $400, so let's set it at $400. Now let's move on to finding the best entry points. I'll choose the British pound versus the US dollar currency pair, and again I will select the booster bot. Now the most important thing is finding the best entry point. I will wait for a new 5-second candle and then open a buy trade for $400 on it. This new 5-second candle will be our best possible entry point. To do this, you need to go over here to Japanese candles, select the S5 or 5-second time frame, and be sure to turn on the timer. So to reiterate, the new 5-second candle will be the best entry point when using the robots. You might be wondering, how does this work? For example, let's say you want to open your buy trade right here, but at some point you don't wait for your entry and you open the trade right here instead. Accordingly, if you had waited for the new 5-second candle, what often happens is that, for instance, One candle closes at this important level, and the very next candle makes a significant move like this. So, you would have had a very good chance to enter a position near the bottom, and this entire movement would have resulted in a large profit for you. This is why a new 5-second candle is such an effective tool that you should really consider using. I'm earning $350. That means I've already made almost 50% profit on my deposit. The next trade at 15% is, well, let's round it up, $450. So just look, I'm not risking anything anymore and I'm already in a good profit. Yes, I only had one loss with the robot. But by the way, let me remind you, you can activate this robot right now using the link in the description. You don't need to buy anything or download anything. It's available instantly on Telegram. Go to it right now you can find the link in the description or the pinned comment, and it will give you all the necessary instructions. But if you want a completely ready-made strategy, then I suggest you join our Telegram channel and get them directly from there. But for now, we continue to grow my personal deposit. The next currency pair we are going to choose is Euro-Dollar. There's a pretty good and volatile movement here, so I will pick this currency pair once again. I can't seem to find it in the robot. Ah, here it is. I select the trade time for 1 minute, and now I wait for the signal. Look at this. There are over 11,000 users currently in the robot. These are real active users who work with it every single day. And as you can see, I have immediately opened my trade. Yes, it's true. I didn't have some super strong impulse here that would help me, but that kind of impulse doesn't always happen. In about 3 out of every 10 trades, you'll have a perfect entry point exactly for those first 5 seconds. In all the other cases, either the price stays in place or it doesn't give any impulse at all. It really doesn't help in every case, but when it does work, it's a perfect entry point that really protects you a great deal. So, in other words, the trade closed at 0, meaning I didn't earn anything from it and didn't lose anything either. That happens too. But let's ask the robot for a signal a second time on this same currency pair. Even if the price has to be chased, let's try to make some profit on it again. Once I get a signal to sell, I wait for a completely new 5-second candle, and then I open a sell trade on it. You see, if you open a trade immediately on the news, you might miss out on such a small but important movement. Alright, let's watch and see how this trade plays out. Now that's a different story. This trade is already bringing me a profit of $400. I want to open the next trade as well, for example, at 15%. By the way, that's already $508. Let's even open a trade for $550. Raise the stakes a bit, so that's 16%. Although, I'm even thinking with this balance, if I open a trade for 20%, that's $670 and I'm not really risking anything. So let's open the next trade for exactly that amount, exactly 20%. I'm choosing the EUR-AUD currency pair. I'm getting a buy signal. On the new 5-second candle, I open a buy trade. Once again, our best entry point didn't work out. But still, this, as I said, it doesn't always have to work. Sometimes it gives +2 or +3 pips. Sometimes it can even give +20. And as you can see, this trade is already bringing me $555, meaning we had a good movement, but at the moment we did not get any entry point. So the analysis was done quickly and very well. The price moved up nicely, but as you can see, we could not catch the entry point. Sometimes this happens, sometimes the price can make a sharp impulse like this. And accordingly, we made a very big good profit, specifically in terms of the number of points moved. But as you can see, I doubled my deposit. There was 1 loss, 1 break even, and 1 refund. So I didn't lose or gain anything on those. Everything depends on volatility and on you. I showed you the 5-second candles. This is the best entry point you can use with the robot, and also you can get more strategies and more indicators in our Telegram channel. Activate the robot using the link in the description. Also, in the pinned comment, I'll leave the links to both the robot and the Telegram channel in the description, so go ahead, start earning with us. All the links are in the description and in the pinned comment. See you in the next videos.